Hey guys, this is Coach Derek, co-host of the Soapboxing Podcast. Man, ever since I found this Anchor app, I tell you, podcasting has become a lot simpler and a lot easier to do. They distribute the podcast over several platforms, and you have to do no work. I tell you, man, if you're interested in doing podcasting, you need to download the Anchor app. That's ANCHOR.FM. You can get started today with the Anchor app and do whatever your heart desires.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Soapboxing Podcast, your main event of the evening.
Hardware, man. S-C-A-A-D-O. Got the Latin American camera.
They got some trainers say, some fighters say, well, I don't watch videos of the guy fighting. I let the coach watch it. Wait, man.
Guys, one thing we know for sure about Wilder, he hit you clean. Right. And this woman whooped the whole world twice. The whole world.
The whole world. Good morning, Facebook, YouTube. It's another episode of Soapboxing Podcast. It's your boy Manny Fresh, along with Coach Derek Collinsworth.
What's going on, people?
What's up? Well, today we're excited to have Mr. Mike Cook out all the way in from Memphis, and he was just sharing with us the weather out there. Man, what a crazy 2 weeks, man. Last week we were all in the huddled up trying to stay warm. Did you guys lose power out there?
No, we didn't lose power, but I mean, I hate saying the internet. That might as well lost power.
Wait a minute. We lost power because we had an independent grid.
Yeah.
The rest of the people that were dealing with the freeze, they were good. Well, man, it's good to have you on the show, man. Yeah, it is. Yesterday we were rolling around. It was 82 degrees out. How are you dealing with that, Derek? I know you love the heat.
Shit, fuck that heat, man. It seemed to me, bro. Walk around since said, if we can't handle if the grid can't handle it, you would think that those in the know would just make an announcement. Look, it's gonna get such and such temperatures. We're gonna start rolling blackouts at 7, so you may be off for 4 hours. But that's too much like walk around sense. That's too much like somebody want to do their job. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, common sense ain't common.
Definitely the next one. If we have another freeze like that, which I never been in no zero weather in the South anyway, this far south. But this common sense would say, okay, y'all know what to do now. But man, by the time these politicians get to arguing about which side of the aisle and all this old shit, man, these people don't care about people, man. Luckily, after that 32-hour period, some people had 48 hours. Luckily, they started rolling, man, and folks would get warm. They cut it out. 4 hours ain't enough for it to get 40 in your house like it was at first. So, when the juice come on, cook something, warm up, charge your shit for the next time. It seems like it's an easy
That's crazy.
adjustment. Seems like it's an easy adjustment, but all of a sudden, here comes the politics. Well, Texas, you didn't want to pass this, and this didn't want to pass this. Look, man, I need some fucking heat, man. That's what I need. I need some heat, man. It's crazy, bro.
More than politics is more about, even more so about money. And so when you see shit like that happen,
that's what the politics is about, though.
When you see shit like that happen, you'll see that the people with the money tend to suffer less or take trips to Mexico, one of the two, but that's neither.
No, that's for there.
Take trips.
You know what solved me? You know what solved me with my stereotypes and politics and shit, bro? I developed asthma late in life, like about 21, right? And about 20 years ago, man, I had a severe asthma attack. I had got dehydrated and shit, and it wasn't allowing me to, and I didn't know what was going on. So I'm sitting in the emergency room, man, dying, can't breathe. You know, I don't know if y'all had any breathing problems, but it feel like, you know, you're drowning on land. So, and it's
how I feel when I'm in there with danger.
There you go. and this little, you know, soft fella was my nurse, and man, he was on me, bro, fix me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I said, you know what? When you feel when you dying, bro, all that other shit ain't important, man. Yeah. I said, man, this man sitting here working on me, trying to make me breathe. You know what I'm saying? I said, well, boy, that'll clear your shit up real fast, man. And I think that's what's with that warmth and shit. You know what I'm saying? With that power, bro. You got children that's fucking freezing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, all that other shit, get out the way, man. Yeah. Let's cut the juice. Cut the juice back on so we don't lose it for fucking 2 days, man. But we gotta hold them accountable. I know people get discussing, don't want to vote and shit. But look, bro, that's how you hold them accountable, bro. That's why you don't let shit slide. Hey, man, you got to go. Try the next one, you know. But that's how I see the shit anyway. Yeah, that freeze was crazy. That was crazy, man.
I don't miss the freeze. I miss the freeze, but I don't miss the bullshit that came along with it. But it's behind us. We're back to summer.
I'm on now. It's 80-something degrees. I was sweating earlier. I was sweating yesterday, man.
We're back to summer.
Mike, you say you're in Memphis, bro?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Memphis, you born and raised in Tennessee?
Yes, sir. Born and raised in Memphis.
How is it in Memphis, man?
Born and raised in Memphis. Say it again.
I said, how is it in Memphis, man? Give us a quick recap of life in Memphis.
Man, just like everywhere else, man. I Memphis get a bad rap, but if it's bad anywhere, it's bad. It's bad here. It's bad anywhere else. It's no different. It's a city full of history. We
that's what I'm about
like
to say.
Everybody else, man. You know what I mean? We just like everybody else. We get bad raps on TV, man. But I feel safer in Memphis than I do anywhere else. So,
you know
what I'm saying?
Well, I'm from Chicago, so when I think of Memphis, I think of the South, but I think of country music. I think of rap.
Memphis is the blues, the hip hop, man. Nashville is
yeah, blues.
Yeah, the blues, man. Bill Street.
So if I said, hey, Mike, man, I'm gonna come through to Memphis for the weekend, bro. I want you to give me a tour. I want you to show me around. Where would you take me, and what would we do in Memphis for the weekend?
Well, we got the Grizzlies here. But everybody comes here for Bill Street and Elvis Presley's house. Nobody in Memphis goes to Elvis Presley's house, but everybody that comes out of town goes to Elvis Presley's house. And
I'm going to the King's house, man. I'm going to the King's house, man. Me and my mom was supposed to go, but she passed away and we didn't go. I told my wife she got to take me down there, man. Shit.
It's cool, man. It's cool. We got that's our probably big thing. I just talked to somebody last week. They said he travel from the UK, from all the way from Australia just to come see his house, man. And it's even a lot of people don't know. I just recently found out myself he was real big into karate, and where he got a lot of his dance moves and stuff from. Yeah. And last week, a brother of mine became a 5th degree black belt, and he actually practiced and trained for it in Elvis's gym that Elvis had built. And so we got to see his dressing room and stuff, man. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I know about all that, man.
He was in the martial arts, man. It's crazy.
Big time.
It's crazy. Elvis knowledge ain't real like in Memphis like you think it would be. But like, man, you can run to somebody in Memphis and they'll break you down. They'll be like, hey, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's
been gone
in Memphis history.
Nice.
He been gone about 45 years, man. So every generation they don't know. I mean, Elvis is like the Beatles and shit. You gonna know who it is just by how big. But as far as the the inside shit, if you wasn't a fan, how you gonna know?
Right.
That
right. Those real
I got
fans, you can't. Those real fans, you gotta really like. They'll break you down. Be like, hey, no, Elvis was Elvis. You be like, okay, no, Elvis. The younger generation with like Michael Jackson and Prince, they know him as like, oh, that's that dude who made Thriller. It's like, no, bro, that's people was passing out in the car.
Well, shout out to everyone that's watching out in Memphis, man. You got your boy out here, Mike Cook, representing. So we appreciate y'all.
You ever heard of Mike? You know of a little town called Sparta, Tennessee.
Sparta, Tennessee.
Sparta, Sparta, Sparta. It's about. I think it's about outside of Nashville.
I think so.
Well, I got three children in Tennessee, man. They in that little small town.
Okay.
They grew up over there, man. They grown now. Yeah. It's not far. I think about an hour and a half out of Nashville. I don't know what side is which. How'd you get the boxing, bro?
Man, it's like a badass kid. That's the best way to say it. About 9 years old. Man, I put it like this. I'm mixed, right? So I was a mixed kid, and I always tell everybody, even though things are crazy now, like when I was a kid, like you couldn't hang out on the black side, couldn't hang out on the white side. You was a mixed kid, you was awkward. It wasn't like how it is now.
Oh, wow.
We ain't have Steph Curry yet, and I just would get in trouble all the time, man. And my mom had one of those, old school moms, and somebody starts something, but finish it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, if you got beat up at school, you was going to get beat at home too. You know what I mean? It was like that. And, man, one day they took me to our police gym, our pal gym here. And a guy kicked my ass. And it was supposed to be like a lesson learned, like, stop fighting. And I was like, when we going back? And I've been in it ever since. Love it. Boxing is my life.
Whose idea?
My name on there says Mike Cook Boxing. It's been Mike Cook Boxing since when somebody calls me Michael or Mike and I don't know them like that, I'm like, how you know me? Because everybody calls me Mike Cook Boxing. It's been my whole life.
Whose idea was to take you to the gym? Your mom's or dad's?
It's actually my grandma. My grandma, God rest her soul. She was like, "You want to teach them a lesson? Take them to the boxing gym."
Nice. So, did you have any boxing in the family before then?
Nope. But I tell you what's crazy. Man. I always love to tell people this because it just means something to me. I wanted to be Muhammad Ali before I knew what boxing was. Like, I just wanted to be Muhammad Ali, like, so bad. Like, they used to have these commercials come on, and I can't remember what I think it was called, Sports Century or something on ESPN. And I see the commercial, and I see him running his mouth, and I just want to be this dude so bad. Like, I didn't want to be a boxer. I just wanted to be. I got like it's like kids getting like they want to be The Rock. You know what I'm saying? They want to run their mouth, talk the noise or whatever. And I just wanted to be him, and so it just kind of just played out the way it's supposed to be, I guess. I just wanted to be able to run my mouth and talk crazy to somebody, and everybody applauded. You know what I mean? And it just played out the right way.
Ali is one of those. Elvis
icons.
Michael Jackson, Prince. Even when you're a little kid, you just know
like
who it was.
Now.
Right. He eclipsed.
Like, bro, chill.
he eclipsed boxing by so much, man, that even it becomes it just accepted. You know, I'm saying Ali.
It's a footnote,
yeah, man. So even guys my age, your age, we all knew his importance. You know what I'm saying? And if you study his life,
dude just had an aura.
The peaks and valleys and all those things is the fact that he accomplished the things what he did just as a boxer going through the shit he did.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. You know what I'm saying? Damn, this dude here is a whole different
two
type
careers.
of
It's
human
crazy.
being. Whole different human being,
you
man.
know, you talking about coming to Memphis. That's another place I would take y'all. You know, we got the Civil Rights Museum here. And a funny Muhammad Ali story, they remodeled it when I was a kid. Right. And man, I'd have to go crazy to fact check what year this was, but they remodeled when I was a kid, and they brought some guys. Muhammad Ali was one of the guys, and they took the police gym down there. This is my Muhammad Ali story, man. It makes me sad, but it's funny. It's funny too. It's a little kind of. They was all letting us get in line to go meet him, shake his hand. You know, they take a picture, and I think you could buy the picture or whatever. And bro, I got like 2 or 3 people away from him and started crying. I freaked out so bad, bro. And I ain't get to meet him. They tried to pull me out the line and get me together. I'm talking about I'm balling, and I'm not a crier. That's what makes me laugh as an adult. Like I can't cry for nothing, bro. And I balled. I was like 10. I balled so bad. And man, after that it was over with. And I missed my chance to meet him, bro. And it killed me to this day, man. I'm like, bro, that's crazy. Standing right there, I froze. I froze up.
I might have cried as a grown fucking man, bro, if I got to meet him, but I never did, you know.
Yeah, shit. Now I don't feel bad, man.
It makes more sense now. You was overwhelmed.
Bro, you know, they say Prince got an aura. Muhammad Ali had an aura, bro. Muhammad Ali had an aura, bro. I was like, this is crazy. And as a kid, you know, it wasn't like now you got like social media and everything so accessible. Like, I saw a dude on TV, so the same person is like, bro, that's him right there. You know what I mean? So that's my Muhammad Ali story. It's embarrassing, but I don't like telling it. I'm like, yeah, bro, I cried. I cried like I snotty nose cried.
Yeah, man, I get it. I get it, bro.
Nice. I like to say I have an aura, but my kids call it gas, so I don't know. Probably not the same thing.
My daughter had a thing done yesterday. My daughter had a thing done yesterday, and they had to give her anesthesia. And they asked her what it smelled like, and she was like, "It smells like my daddy's feet." I was like,
Kids say the darndest things.
Right.
Oh man.
So you walked into a boxing gym when you were 8 because you know you were starting to act up, man. Why don't you tell us about your amateur career? How did the lesson turn into a passion?
Man, I had a short amateur career, but a long amateur career the same way. Like I wouldn't, like I'm from Memphis. We didn't have like our PAL system was up and down. You'd be going 1 year, then 1 year it wouldn't be going. Like we had a really good amateur background down the street in Jackson, Tennessee, like Olympic gold medalist Kenny McKinney from there and all that stuff. And we had a lot of great fighters in the gym, but as an amateur, I was only 23-3. I only had 26 fights. Well, 27, I got DQ one fight. But I only had 26 fights. But the thing about it is like I treated it like as a pro career. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I trained for my fights and prepared for my fights. And the one thing I can say about the amateurs is it laid a foundation for me. Like I travel, bro. Like I went different places to train people and like really learned like, every area, like I know in Houston, I'm sure y'all train a different way than what we train here with the train Florida, train Cincinnati. And I took that away, man. Like as a boxer,
you're exposed to different styles.
I always, right. And just even training wise, like I hate to say it like this because I don't want to, bad out nothing, but like I was like, oh wow. So the way we warming up, the way we're training is how a lot of people are warming up. And I got to take that away. You know what I'm saying? And I guess take boxing more serious too. Like that's the thing. Like, cause Memphis, man, we got some talented fighters, talented athletes at that. It's just like now, you lose athletes to boxers to basketball, football. Folks always say, where the heavyweight champion at? I'm like, he's in the NFL probably. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got to travel it and really like improve myself. Like that was the big thing for me. And I got to compete in the ringside tournament, title tournament. The San Antonio Pals, like I got those good experiences, but that's what really like helped me for my pro career is like to see that. Cause like the good thing about not having a lot of amateur fights is we would take sparring as like a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
you knew you was fixing to go to the gym, the Memphis gym when I was younger. You knew you was going to war. Like you knew y'all was going in there. We was finna beat the hell out of each other and high five afterwards, or don't say nothing to each other afterwards. But we knew it was gonna work. You know what I mean? So like, I don't have one of those like I always laugh. I hear guys like, man, they had 200 amateur fights. I'm like, yeah, dude, shop one. You know what I'm saying? Like, cool. Okay, cool. You know what I mean?
Well, we've definitely heard of amateurs turning pro with limited amateur fights, and it's turned out well for some. Yeah. What about your coach? Have you had the same coach from the start?
Yeah, you know, it's a yes and no. The funny thing about walking in the gym, the first guy I ever saw in the gym was my coach's name was Mike Flowers. At the time, he was a fighter, he was an amateur. And I always think it's funny because we talking about Ora. I walked in and I saw him hitting the bag, and he was a real high-ranked amateur at the time. And they was like, that's Mike Flowers. And I was like, bro, take me home. I was like, take me home. He was in there killing the bag, man. And you know, it's so crazy. I think it's why it's so important, like, folks about being leaders and stuff for younger guys. Man, first time I walked up to him, dude just took me in. You know what I'm saying? And he was a fighter, man. And later on, you know, he turned pro. He ended up moving to Vegas. He trains a lot of fighters now too, but he ended up moving to Vegas. And I always say I had 2 parts so far to my pro career because I ended up getting like real injury ridden. I started like 5-0 and broke my hand, tore my meniscus, and then rested. Had another fight, broke my hand, broke my hand again, and because of not taking care of myself. And I paused. I ended up started training people and running a boxing gym. And so when I realized I was healthy and I really wanted to continue my pro career, I hit my coach up and I was like, man, I want to do this, but I want to do this with you. You know what I mean? Like, because dude is a mastermind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always tell everybody he's my my Virgil Hunter. You know what I mean? Like, dude had me inspired. I go run through a wall for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he was the first fighter I ever seen. So, like, I always tell everybody, like, man, like, and it helped too. Like, you know, when they got a guy that's in there doing it too. You know what I mean? Like, when they telling you, hey, go in there and throw that hook, bite down, throw the hook, you're like, okay, you been there. You know what it is. Versus, you know, you got somebody like, go throw the hook, you be like, he's trying to get me set up. So like, he's a hell of a trainer. He's training hella undefeated guys. And his girl actually is a high-ranked amateur right now. She's fighting, I think, in the Nationals. I think it's in March. They just rescheduled in March. But Maya Flowers, man, like, tell everybody, look, that's a historian right there. We be sitting on the phone ever since I was younger, man. We sit on the phone, be talking about Charlie Burley. We don't talk about none of the new guys ever. We always talk about old school stuff. Man. Dude's like he's a teacher, but he studies. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like dude's a hell of a coach.
Man, that's amazing. Hell of a coach. So, go ahead, D. What were you gonna say?
Nah, go ahead. This thing popped up on.
I was gonna ask. Yeah. So you had your amateur career. You have your relationship with your coach. What was the catalyst to turning pro?
I went to the Pals, man. I went with I didn't even go with the Memphis gym. Crazy enough, I ended up going with this pro manager that was here, and he took me and a couple amateurs, and I went with a guy named Javante Charles. He was a real high ranked amateur. Had just won like the ringside tournament. We all went together, and I went competing in the Pals. Won my first 2 fights. Ended up losing to I think it was Louis Reyes. Louis Reyes, and came back and was like damn, like where I go from here? Because like, we had trained hard for it. And my coach, that's another thing. He gave me my pro debut. At the time, he was fighting and promoting his own shows in Memphis. Like he was doing it just trying to give fighters a chance. And he called me. He said, hey. He said, man, I'm going to give you a pro debut. I know how hard you work. And, like, that's the thing about dude. When nobody else would really give me the chance or believe him, you know what I'm saying? Because one thing, like, y'all understand this, man. Y'all boxing guys. When I was an amateur, everybody be like, man, you got such a pro style. And I used to take it like it's disrespectful. I'm like, what's that mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? And now as a pro, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I got a pro style. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of amateurs that were, here above me. And like, I ain't gonna lie, like, things didn't play out the way they wanted to play out. You know what I'm saying? For themselves, and things played out for me, so I'm happy with it now. And he called me and said, "Hey, I'm doing a show." He said, "I know how hard you work. If you ain't trying to work around for no tournaments, I'm gonna give you a pro debut." And man, I jumped on it, and I turned pro on his show, man. And then next show, it had a show, and then all of a sudden, like, everybody just started kind of calling. I don't know if y'all know what prize fights boxing is. They were around big one point in time. They did the Lennox Lewis Tyson fight, Jermaine Taylor fights, all this stuff here. Man, they started calling me, trying to get me to fight and all that stuff, trying to sign me, and everything just kind of started rolling. So a couple good performances, and people be like,
yeah. So your pay-per-view, your pro debut in Memphis, it was the Omni New Daisy Theater. It was a knockout.
Yep. New Days
against.
Also check out that New Days. That's another historic place. We had James Toney, Reggie Johnson, like all kinds of fighters have come through to fight New Days. So that's a bucket list thing for me.
So that was in 2011. So then your next fight, it was in February of 2012. Right back at the same arena, the Omni.
Yep.
And that was a TKO.
They used to have Tuesday night fights there. We used to have fights there. First Tuesday every month, we have fights there, man. It was, like I said, Memphis used to be a real big boxing town. And every Tuesday, first Tuesday every month, they had boxing fights there, man. It's crazy.
And then you had a rematch with the guy that you beat the second fight, right? What was there any backstory behind that?
Yeah, the dude I was supposed to fight. I'll tell you the backstory behind that. Yeah. Roy Jones came. I ended up becoming good friends with Roy Jones, and he came to town and was gonna watch me fight. And it's another funny story. At the weigh-ins, we have a local radio station here, 107.1, and Roy went down there and was just on Roy Jones in town. They brought him on the radio, and he was like, "I'm coming here to see so and so, and I'm coming to see Mike Cook." So the dude I was supposed to fight was from Cincinnati. And,
he rethought the whole day.
Somebody was like, "I'm fighting dude." So dude dipped.
Wow.
Dipped, man. And,
was he from Memphis?
Last second. No,
Cincinnati. Huh?
Oh, Cincinnati.
No, he's from Ohio. Yeah, he's from Cincinnati. He's from Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, left his dad and coach there too. Left his dad. When the Uber and stuff, then bro, real deal got a taxi.
Wow.
Bro, real deal got a taxi, and man, dipped. So dude was supposed to fight, and he was supposed to fight. Something happened with the fight he had. No, honestly, what happened was I had sold a lot of tickets to that fight, and they was like, "Hey, let's make this work." And the guy he's supposed to fight, we kind of just made it work with him too financially, and we just so I could make sure I got to fight. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
When people come to see you don't fight. They be like, "Bro, we'll dip, we'll leave." So They tried to make it work for me. That's the thing about my year too. My coach, man, he always found a way to make it work for me. Like always.
Nice. So you're 3-0. You're off to a hot start, man. What's running through your mind at that point? What are your goals? What are your plans? What's your team telling you?
Man, goal wise, it's crazy. At the time, I don't think I understood what even being 3-0 is. Like now, I actually try to help a lot of fighters, and I'm around a lot of fighters, and even just try to give advice. And I didn't understand how big even being 3-0 is. You know what I mean? It's so quick. People are so quick to throw you to the wolves or feed you to somebody else or whatever. And it's funny. My coach, he wasn't even my coach at the time. My still fight. My be like, "Hey, 3-0 is big." But he's always telling me 3-0 is big, but that ain't no prospect. That's just 3-0. You're just a fighter that's 3-0. And it always sat with me, man, because I'm a realist. And I ended up having dinner with Roy Jones one time, and the man was like, he told me straight out, flat out, he said, shouldn't nobody even say they undefeated until they 5-0. And so then that was stuck in my head. I was like, I can't say nothing until you 5-0. And 3-0, man, it was I had people around me, they'd be like, "Man, you 3-0." And I didn't care. I almost sound I ain't care, I ain't want to. I'm glad I'm 3-0, but I try not to let it be a big deal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Well, now it is a big deal because you're 15-0. You're 15-0 and 7 knockouts,
Yes,
and you got a fight coming up here in, if I'm not mistaken, when are you fighting? In
the 20th.
The
March
20th.
Yep, 3 weeks.
Yep, March 20th in Albertville. Where is that? Albertville.
Albertville. It's in
Albertville.
Alabama. So I want to jump the gun, but like, yeah, that's the thing that's really helped turn my career along with my coach, my promoter, Brandy of 116. She most of the shows are done in Alabama, and so I've been calling myself Mr. Alabama lately because my last 3-4 fights been in Alabama, but Alabama's like Memphis. You know what I mean? Just like if I was in Houston, I'd be like, man, it's just like Memphis.
And how are the shows right now in Alabama? Are they full capacity, 50 capacity? What are they? How are they running them?
It's not full capacity yet, but they're doing like 50% capacity, and she tries to do a lot of stuff in like gymnasiums if she can, because with the bleachers you can kind of space everybody out. You come in with your group, sit in your spot, space everybody out, and like at this time, man, like especially like in August, I was just happy to be fighting again. Like I was like, man, is this over with? You know what I mean? We didn't know. None of us knew where the world was going. I was just proud to be fighting.
Still don't.
Like
Shit.
that's why I like Alabama. They really, facts.
They made it. We got Brandy watching right now. Shout out to Brandy. How you doing, Miss Brandy? Good to have you on the show watching.
Yeah, that's the boss right there. That's the boss.
There you go. Hey, Brandy, I'm going to take this second right now and let you know I have a 147-pounder. If you ever need anyone on the show, I'm going to hit you up.
That's the one. Hey, for real. That's the one.
We'll go out to Alabama.
Hey, they treat you nice in Alabama, for real.
I'm sure they
is that where Skinny from or what? I take it you and Noe know each other.
Yeah. Man, I met Noe actually on that August show. We both fought on that August show, man, and just y'all know from his character, his vibe, man, dude's just a good guy. I met him, Alan Nelson, Omar Rosales, like I met all of them. They came down there, man. They all just real good people. It's good to keep stuff around good people. So
that boy,
man, he's a hell of a fighter too.
That boy, Noe, bro, he's good as they come, man. You get what you get with him, I root for him. Yeah. Ever since I know him, I've been rooting for him. It's hard not to root for him,
and we're gonna be we're gonna be rooting for him tonight. Go out there and give that boy.
Yes, sir.
Go out there and give that boy an H-Town ass whooping. Make him think twice about ever fighting anyone from H-Town again, homie.
He knows why they brought him in and why he's getting paid what it is. It's up to him to change change their mind. You know what I'm saying? He knows he's an experienced guy, bro, and he ain't gonna lay down. So yeah, we supporting
ready for war. Right. Noe ready for war. Like he going into it ready for war.
Yeah, you got to, man. We talked about that, and I've been in this for a long time, bro. And what you're saying is hints. There's so many different ways to navigate through this thing, and like you said, when Tria, it's like this here, man. If nothing else is working, which year is now, Mike? 15-0, right? 15 fights.
Yes, sir.
15-1.
Yes, sir.
That's value. Now, who's it valuable to? That's up to you to know. You know what I'm saying? Do I make this situation work for me, or do I play myself, or do my management? You know what I'm saying? There's different ways into this thing, man. And like Fresh said a while ago, talking about amateur this and that's amateur. Look, amateur boxing is very, very important. But Rocky Montana had like 8 amateur fights. Roberto Duran, I think, had like 10, 15 amateur fights. That's it. But that's Roberto Duran, that's Rocky Montana. Yeah, they did what they had to do. So it's to each individual. I think Tyson Fury had like 25 amateur fights. That's it. So
what you do in your spare time.
Yeah. So now Mike had built up a record And I'm sure I ain't telling you nothing you don't know, but Mike done built him up a 15-0 record. Guess what that's valuable to? Guys who spending money on guys and say, look at this Cook guy, man, 15-0, man. If we could beat him, we could do this and this. And now it's up to Mike to know, I know that's what you're thinking, but this is what I'm really going to do. You know what I'm saying? And pick the right.
Yourself.
Right, because nobody.
You gotta bet on yourself.
I'm glad you said that, because guess what? Even on the biggest level, it's the same thing, because when it comes to betting on yourself, who's doing that better than Teofimo Lopez right now? Teofimo Lopez,
that's
right?
Crazy.
Said,
that's crazy.
Man, I love that fucking kid, bro. And let me tell you something. When Teofimo, regardless of his ability, if you're a fan or not, that's regardless. When Teofimo said, okay, you motherfuckers think the Russian gonna fucking whoop me, but I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna whoop that fucking boy, and I'm not showing up for that kind of money, right? So he stuck to his purse. Now he knew, I'm sure, this is all speculation. He knew, I'm sure, what else you gonna do, motherfucker? We had Top Rank. He done did all the Top Rank fights he can do, and y'all been building me up.
You ain't no else to fight.
So guess what? He knew, stick to my guns, and they gonna break me off. And as the speculation goes, Loma himself took a shot to push some money that way to make the fight. Now, Teofimo had to sign a contract to say, if I lose this motherfucking fight, my next 3 fights for Bob Arum's X amount of dollars. He had to agree to that to get the fight. So he argued for the front end, got some money, signed the contract, whoops that boy's ass, then says, guess what? All the minimums and shit now, that shit don't matter now because I won. Y'all thought I wasn't going to win. Now, he said, when Bob goes, well, shit, you know, I only agreed to pay up to whatever it was, 1 point something. Well, then you don't got me there. Go to the first bid. I don't give a fuck. And guess what? That goddamn match room came in there, offered like 3 point something. And here comes somebody out of left field that nobody knew. Roll the dice. They not Teofimo done hit. They gonna spend 6 point something on this fight. And guess what? That kid has been gambling on him fucking self, bro, and winning. Yep. And winning, bro, like a mother. So it is like, what it is, man. You got to know that.
Bernard Hopkins, Don King vibes, man. I was just saying this yesterday. It's got them Don King Hopkins vibes, man. It's like this might be Bob Arum's, salute by, like for real.
He's having a lot of problems out there. Yeah. Well, he's making a mistake with him and Crawford.
Yeah, well, let me say this.
It's really crazy.
Let me say this though. It's something to be said about sticking to your successful business model. That's what I mean. If Bob, and don't think Bob, what's the guy running Top Rank? It's several other key people. But if the business model is this, say for instance, me and Fresh had to create a fucking management company for a fighter we got, right? Me and Fresh got a business model. Now, it makes no sense to go against the business model if it's successful, right? So if Bob's saying, listen, this is what we do with fighters. We get them. We might give them something on the front end, but we match them. If you notice, Top Rank matches they fighters. It don't be gimmies. They have a couple gimmies in there, but quickly, in between 0 and 10, they be done fought somebody, right? And that's because they saying we need to know if he got the goods or not, or cut the loss, right? Give everybody that 3-year standard contract, but go on and give somebody stiff that, he can't whoop him, but he ain't gonna just lay down. And then, so that's their business model. And if you look at it, ever since De La Hoya and shit, ever since ever, that's their business model. So if they say, once we get a guy to a certain level, we're gonna pay this, and that's it. And if he wants to go on, maybe he learned a lesson from Lil Floyd or Oscar. Well, let him go on and do his thing and gamble on himself.
I think that's exactly what it is.
We're not gonna go and hop behind this kid.
Yeah, we done seen this happen before. Well, that's the crazy part.
Right.
Like, this ain't the first.
So I don't necessarily think it's a swan song. which it could be a swine song for Bob anytime. I think he's 120 years old, but I don't think he's thinking like that. I'm thinking he's thinking
in the 40s with him in the background.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's thinking. Listen, Teofimo's he's in that era where everything he fights now is gonna be real. Check this out. That George Kambosos kid, y'all could overlook that kid if y'all want.
Fight.
That fucking guy can fight, man.
Fight.
That guy, yeah, bro, that ain't no gimme fight. And if Teo is looking at it as a gimme, looking at it as I'm swooping in the uppercut could get upset. Now, I
don't get that vibe from Lopez at all.
Oh no. I'm saying he could do that if he was to overlook this guy. I don't think he will either. I think he's a consummate professional in that ring. But here's the thing. Remember, I was there. We fought on that Lopez Loma card. And I'm watching around. I'm saying, oh, nobody in this mother. Now, I didn't pick Teo neither. There is a few dudes that pick Teo that's in the know, and I'll give them a shot. I tell you, you know who picked Teofimo Lopez? Bobby. Bobby told me at the hotel, Teo's gonna beat Loma. I said, man, I'm rooting for him, but that fucking transformer over there, bro, that motherfucker, man, I don't know what's gonna happen, man. But I was rooting for Teo, right? Bobby said, Coach, put your money, I don't gamble. He said, put your money on Teo. I said, all right, we're gonna see. So I'm watching it. Hell, by the 7-8 round, I'm like, I ain't gave this motherfucking Russian a round yet. I say, man, my point is, but nobody at the show felt that way. It was obvious. Yeah, Loma's the guy. Everybody thinks Loma's gonna win, but you know who didn't? Who never gave? And Fresh, I read everybody, right? And that's my whole thing is reading the motherfucker, seeing confidence or not or whatever. I've never ever seen for an iota Teo not believe I'm gonna whoop this dude's ass. I'm gonna stomp this dude's ass. Y'all fucking up. Y'all fucking up. And that's why he gambled on himself. That's why he's still gambling on himself now. Bob and them know every fight for him is gonna be tough. This Kambosos fight is gonna be tough. Possibility of being tough. Boxing. Everybody after that's tough. And so do we fucking keep spending money till we fucking put so much money on this kid and he loses and we lose everything? Or do we say this is where we draw the line and go do your thing? Well, to me, ain't nothing wrong with drawing a line for nobody as long as you're upfront about it, right? Hey, I'm not willing to go that far. Go do your thing. So Teo's gonna do his fucking thing, bro. And guess what? As a fan, I'm riding with him till the wheels fall off. And I think the kid's so good, even if he has a stumbling block. Man, Teo's class, bro. That boy, you ain't gonna he'll get back in the gym, do what he gotta do, and make another go for it. But I think you gotta know the business models, man, and stick to it. Otherwise, what's good is a business model, because if you gonna just roll the dice on every fighter, you're bound to lose.
He came out. Go ahead.
I was just saying, but with Frank, you might have the hottest fighter in the hottest division. Like, I think you might. Yeah,
that's crazy.
You got to make an exception with this one. Like,
he came out.
It lets you know what Teo said. Teo said, "These motherfuckers still don't believe him. I whoop Loma and you still don't believe in me." Well, maybe he don't need to be there. Maybe he don't need to be there. But I'm gonna tell you something.
Boogeyman division, and he beat him easy.
I'm gonna tell you something. Bob and whoever's making the decisions with Bob, I'm forgetting this guy's name, man. That top guy, top rank, white dude. But maybe Bob says we cut our losses because I got the next batch. I got Keyshawn. I got Duke Reagan. I got Jared Anderson. I got all these next guys that we just gonna put in that next position. And this is a different game, bro. When I was coming up, there was no such thing as like a title shot with 15 fights. Unheard of. When Leon Spinks did that shit with Ali, it was because he was a gold medalist and they really didn't have nobody else. So that was just an anomaly.
That was the only way you could get it. You had to be a gold medalist. Had to be a gold medalist. But it was no chance.
But these getting a title shot in 15 fights, 12 fights, that's just unheard of. But guess what? With COVID, with the bubble, with all this different shit happening, boxing is changing, bro. And anybody who thinks they got their finger on the pulse, they kidding themselves. because you can't attest for this. There's certain laws and like I said, ways you do things, certain things you gotta abide by. But as far as building a fucking champion and building a star, man, it's a new world, bro. Who this Ryan Garcia kid been a star for years, and he's just fighting a guy, you know, he just beat a guy. I'm like, well, shit, how do you put your finger on that? You don't know. You gotta gamble. And I think what Top Rank's doing is saying, well, if T.O.'s becoming monetarily wise, he's becoming too big for us to fucking worry with. Well, we got the next crop anyway. And I think that's kind of why they leaning like that. Now it's shitty for T.O. because I'm with Mike. T.O. to me is the fucking man. You know, y'all can't sit here and say Lomachenko was the greatest pound for pound and all this shit. And when a dude knocks him off, oh, he don't get it though. He ain't shit. Nah, fuck all that, man. Fuck all that. He beat the man, get a man.
It's what they thought at Top Rank. They thought he was gonna lose. They definitely
absolutely.
They thought
They absolutely thought the probability was he wasn't gonna win, right? Absolutely.
He came out the other day and said that he was Top Rank's best fighter. What do you guys think? We have Terrence Crawford, Tyson Fury, Josh Taylor, Lomo, Joe Ramirez, and Oscar Valdez. How does he rank against those other fighters? Is he up there?
Tyson Fury and Terrence Crawford are like that's a crop right there. But also Teofimo is a baby, like in boxing at the same time, and he's already like as far as like his rise goes, it's unlike anyone else's. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's no ceiling for him. Tyson Fury, you know, he's at the top. Terrence Crawford's at the top, but like again, Teofimo's the guy. If you're gonna say let's make a deal with an emotion to fight, that's the guy you go with. Y'all did it with Deontay. You know what I'm saying? And it was huge. Like Teofimo has the hottest division in boxing. Like I just feel like you can't let that go because I get, you know, like you said about betting on yourself, and that's Top Rank betting on themselves was saying they have the next crop. Like, man, this guy just knocked off your top guy.
Yeah.
Let's switch out.
You want to be in bed with him.
Let's talk about another Top Rank fighter. Last week, right? Last week, what a fucking fight! Arguably already a contender for fight of the year. Oscar Valdez put on a performance against someone who I thought was much stronger, bigger guy. And to be honest, in that first round, I was kind of worried. He was throwing some shots, and I was afraid he was going to gas out halfway through the round the way he was fighting. But man, he was able to last the fight and pull off such a tremendous win. Did you get a chance to watch it, Mike?
Bro, man, well, I don't want to say I made a mistake, but I watched the Showtime part. But
yeah, you fucked up.
Matter of fact,
yeah, you fucked up. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say it like this. Whenever I get on social media, man, and I got friends and people that don't really, you know, boxing, they're not really watching boxing, but I see them retweeting and posting the knockout and stuff like that. It's like, that's why boxing's so great right there. You know what I'm saying? That's a highlight knockout that everybody's seen. Like, that's how I got make you a star overnight. You know what I mean? And for him, you know, a lot of people don't know in context, but like for him to be the guy beat with that, it's like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like, that right there, I get the Leo Santa Cruz, Tank Davis knockout was crazy, but that one, prime guys going at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't really say Leo Santa Cruz is in his prime no more. And move up. That right there, that knockout, bro, like, you don't. That's one of them knockouts you only get, you know, every so often, man. When two top guys are going at it. So. Yeah, you're right. I messed up, bro. I messed up.
Now, something that we had talked about, you know, something Derek and I talked about in the gym was, you know, at what point, should have that fight been stopped earlier? I made the point of saying the moment he came back to the corner, and I don't remember what round it was. Maybe it was with the 8th round, and I had to go back and verify. But he came back to the corner and he said, "Ya valió verga." In other words, he said, it's all gone to shit. At that moment, I would have felt like, okay, my fucking fighter realized this shit's, why go out there? You've already been knocked out. You're taking a fucking beating, and every hit that you get from here on out, it's gonna fucking cause damage.
It stays with you the rest of your life.
What do you think, D? I know you shared your thoughts in the gym.
Listen, man. I know enough to know, and because I ain't speak Spanish, I didn't learn that till you told me. I think I didn't know, and then it's still subjective. He said it's all going to shit. Does that mean he's saying he quits, or he's saying this shit ain't going the way we want?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't say no. I'll be clear about that. That doesn't mean I quit. That means it's going to shit. It's going to shit.
Here's the thing, man. That's why it's imperative that a fighter and his trainer has grown together through his career, because you understand where he's at. You understand when he's being brutally honest, and it sounds like Berchelt was just being brutally honest. But here's the thing. Neither one is Pernell Whitaker. They gonna fight like this and they gonna get hit. Now it's up to the corner, right? It's up to this corner to say, okay, is my guy going someplace he's never been going, that he's never went before? Because it's easy on the outside to say, okay, this kid's getting changed in there, and here's what I mean. You gotta afford yourself to the coach. You gotta afford to say, okay, this guy knows his fighter more than me. Except when you have a fucking J. Diaz fucking Wilder situation, a fucking retarded person knows he don't know what the fuck he was doing. You need to stop this fucking fight. But here's the thing: with Berchelt, it ain't like he's a tactician. Neither is Valdez. And when you said Valdez was gassing and shit. Oh, he absolutely gassed in that fight. He was running like a chicken with his head cut off, them like 2-3 rounds, and that's why Berchelt started easing back into the fight towards the end, up until he got knocked out. Yeah. But what a lot of people don't understand is this: if I train Mike, let's take Mike for instance. Mike's getting his shot. Mm-hmm. Mike, we got a 12 round world title fight, right? Against you super middle, Mike, or you middleweight? What are you?
Middleweight, yeah.
All right. We got this 160-pound guy. We fighting that fucking Plant Kid or Billy Joe or whatever. So I gotta prepare Mike for 12 rounds. He got to go 12 hard fucking rounds. We start the fight. Mike walks into a shot in round 1. Bing! He gets knocked down. He gets up, but he's hurt. He shakes it off. It's up to me to know, okay, my kid was ready for 12 rounds. That right there, now we got 10 rounds in us, maybe, because his recuperative energy. When you get hurt, that brain shook. You don't have 12 rounds in you no more. Maybe you can even eyes and hurt this other guy. Now y'all equal again, so he don't got 12 in him no more. So you gotta understand this shit about Mike, and to pretend like you fresh Mike that we know what fucking Berchelt could do. No, we don't. Even if we think we don't know. The trainer knows now. If you ask me what I'd have did, I'd have stopped the fight the round before he got knocked out. Why? Because I've stopped the fight before, and if I knew, I put myself in a position where I know Berchelt and I'm trusting my eyes. I'm saying, yeah, because we're gonna walk into a shot here and it's gonna be over with. And the following round he did, bang, it was over with.
And it was a hell of a shot. Sent him to the hospital.
Yeah.
But when you taking two guys that, and the only way you can describe them is Mexican style fighting, that's what they do anyway. They get hit any fucking way, right? They gonna get hit. Is that we gotta hit him more than he hit us? Where's the line drawn?
Right.
Where you say, all right, bro, listen, man, every time you get hit on the button, you taking that air step. That air, you're looking for the ground that ain't there. Hey, you gotta start thinking. So would I have stopped? I'd have stopped at the round prior. But I'm also not gonna pretend like, this fight wasn't gonna be brutal, wasn't gonna be a slug. That's what was gonna happen. They bullshitted that first round.
Went into it knowing it's gonna be there.
Yeah, about 2 minutes they bullshitted. As soon as somebody got hit, that was it. Wow. So
Jim Lampley used to say skip the casualties, right? They skip the hey, how you doing and all that stuff. They get right to it. But like you said, that's why it's so important for the coach to have a relationship, because a coach's job really is to say the fighter, because the fighter ain't gonna save himself. Fighter's gonna fight. You know what I'm saying?
1,000%.
Because as a fighter, I'm always gonna think I'm one shot away from winning. It's like on the outside, that's always like a coach really is supposed to know, like, a fighter what he looks like when he's good, what he looks like when he's bad, and does he know how to get out of these type situations? You know what I mean? Like, I've seen him get out of this situation before. I've seen him get cracked before. Versus, like, you get guys switch trainers all the time, and it's always fun. You see the training videos and all that stuff, them looking good. I use Jermaine Taylor's example. Jermaine Taylor had like 4 high-level coaches, and like you see, like, towards the end of his career, like, when the fight gets tough, ain't nobody had no good advice for him, because he didn't know like this. You don't know me really. Like, 8 weeks ain't enough time to know a guy, like, really. You know what I'm saying? Your sparring partners, they're gonna push you and everything, but they ain't gonna be trying to knock you out. Like, not knock you out, you got headgear, all that. So a guy ain't get to see you. But like, we in the gym and put me through a hard workout, and then we go to the sparring and we go through this. You know what I'm saying? Then you get a chance to really see that stuff. You know what I mean? So him, it's like we said, like, the relationship important. You should, when your guys had enough, man. Like, when it's time to pull them out of it. Because a fighter ain't gonna do it. Most time fighters ain't gonna do it.
Absolutely. And that's why I had said earlier, the moment he came back to the corner and he said that, and he sort of just sat down, and I think he realized, this shit, I need a knockout to win. And I think the coach, and I think that might have been what the coach felt, and he believed that he the same thing, and he believed in his fighter enough to give him an opportunity to go out there and get that knockout. It just didn't work out like that.
Well, it's like, if you came back to the corner, I always look at it. If I came back to the corner and they said, hey, you need to knock out the man, or this is going on, I'm gonna stop it. First thing a fighter gonna say is, give me one more round.
Right.
Give me one more round. All right, let me show you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that sense of urgency. So, like, it's weird, man. I respect it. Then at the same time, it's like, stop it, shut it down.
Yeah, that's definitely going to go down as one of the fights of the year. So shout out to Oscar Valdez, man. Great performance. We'd love to have you on the show. So we'll send you out an invite, see if you can spend some time with us, Oscar. But yeah, man. So we got some fights going on tonight. As we mentioned, we got Noe H-Town represent. He's going to be on the Canelo undercard. Yeah. Man, what are your thoughts on Canelo, man? How you feel? Where you have Canelo?
I was saying this the other day. It's like, bro has to start being put in a conversation, like a GOAT conversation, like, dead serious. Like, like, I was just saying this the other day, and it shocked me how unpopular opinion that is. Like, Canelo deserves to start going to like a GOAT conversation. If y'all put Bron up there with Kobe and Michael Jordan, put Canelo in there, bro. He don't take easy fights.
Well, we agree on that. We agree on that. I've always said that. I've always said that Canelo is the LeBron of this era.
He is, man. Like, and then he's.
But I'm not. But I'm not a LeBron fan either.
Hey, bro, I can't stand Bron, but every once in a while I have to stop and be like, man, bro's doing it big. You know what I mean? But like Canelo is doing something, and like, I think it's another one of those careers we're gonna look back on and be like, whoa, man, that should have been appreciated more. Because, like, not only is he like beating guys, he's beating guys like, it's like, man, like, he whitewashed dude, or he knocked dude, like, people knock him for taking a Amir Khan fight. Well, we'd rather him fight Amir Khan than like a guy like with the name fighting tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I respect the way he's doing it. And the move up and down and weight, like, who does it like that? Like, who does it like that? It's just, I think he's one of those great guys for the sport.
I think Canelo's in a great spot right now. He's still young. He's 30 years old. He's already achieved so much. And I think, I don't think there's a ceiling, but I think that every fight is going to be strategic. it's going to have an impact on his legacy moving forward. I think he's going to be starting to fight some tougher guys, because sooner or later you're going to have to fight. You're going to have to fight the Charlos. You're going to have to fight. Derek's over there laughing. What you think? Huh? Eventually he's going to have about Canelo's cherry picking. I mean, opponents.
Canelo been fighting world champions for a fucking decade. I think you don't know what you're talking about. That's what it is.
Canelo. I mean, Derek's a super fan. I think.
No. I'm a boxing historian and a fucking trainer, and the fact that Mexicans are mad because the greatest Mexican to put on gloves is fucking beating guys 3 times bigger than him. It's embarrassing that y'all fucking try to find a way to not give him credit.
I think it's because he's a ginger. I really think beef comes because he's a ginger.
No. I'll tell you why. We've already been through this. You can't be the fucking greatest fighter and lose and have a loss to Mayweather. You can't be the greatest fighter, have a draw against Triple G and then a possible loss against Triple G. You can't be the greatest fucking fighter and have a fucking steroid fucking black cloud over you. You can't be the greatest fighter giving up your belt so you don't fucking fight Charlo as a mandatory. You just can't. But he's a great fighter, though. He's a great fighter.
About 4 of them fucking things you just said is outright lies, man. Outright lies.
So he didn't lose to
Mayweather. 4 of those fucking things.
He didn't lose to Mayweather. He didn't lose to Mayweather.
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't draw the Canelo.
Mayweather picked him at the right time.
Yeah, he had a draw and then kicked his ass after. Yeah,
Floyd at the right time.
He had a draw and kicked his ass after. You say he lost to Triple G twice.
I said
listen,
draw.
Man, I'm not gonna argue with you about shit you don't know, man.
I said draw.
Crazy, man.
I said draw and then a possible loss. You can say what you want, but the Mexican fans know. You can say what
I don't give a fuck what the Mexicans they wrong. I don't give a fuck they wrong.
You can say what you want, but he'll never be.
Y'all wrong.
He'll never be the greatest fighter.
You and Hector wrong. Y'all wrong. It's 2 left shoes. Y'all fucking y'all babbling and shit. While this boy is making motherfucking greatness and building a legacy that ain't gonna never be touched, man.
In your mind,
I'm gonna stick to this. No. In boxing's eye, I'm gonna stick to what fucking Canelo said. Mike Canelo said, man, I don't give a fuck what people talking about. They ain't gonna never be happy. Every time this dude does something tremendous, it's another excuse. This motherfucker's 5'7", a fucking short arm Tyrannosaurus motherfucking Mexican, and he's whooping 6'5", 6'2" motherfuckers like they fucking bums. Oh, he wasn't the super middleweight champion of the world that he walked through.
Oh,
that wasn't the super middleweight. That wasn't the Ring magazine. That wasn't the Ring magazine super middleweight champion of the world. Yeah,
that's what you're supposed to do.
Listen, man.
So right now,
Roy Jones
just because
did that before he did. He went all the way up to heavyweight.
And look at
just because you just because you refuse what's happening in reality don't make it fucking so, bro. What the fuck, man? I don't know what it is about Canelo gets to y'all, man. What the fuck is it, man? This dude's doing shit that's actually the motherfuckers doing shit ain't been done since fucking Armstrong.
Well, Roy Jones was doing the shit that he was doing. Didn't he fight fucking Ruiz for the heavyweight fucking championship of the fight? I remember that fight because as soon as I left the fucking party, I got arrested.
Name me. Check this out. If you're Roy Jones is an all-time great. Good. Name me 5 fucking names he beat that they got him in your place. Fresh. Go ahead.
No, I didn't.
Name me 5.
I said that heavyweight fight. You're saying that Roy Jones
I'm saying his whole career. Name me 5 of them that made him an all-time great. Name me 5 people. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna name them because there's not 5 probably.
Because you can't. Because it ain't none. But check this out. But Roy Jones did what he was expected to do when he fought these guys. Now go ahead. Go to your box rec and see how many people Canelo been whooping since 47. And I'll let you figure it out on your own. It's fucking insane, bro. It's insane. This fucking kid's got to fucking deal with that shit, man. This fucking kid is fucking phenomenal.
He's got to fucking earn it. Hold on, let me see something.
He got to earn it. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. Mike, it's like talking to my fucking brother's kids or something, talking to this motherfucker about Canelo, man. Hey, man, what about
I love y'all, man. This is great.
No. You know what it is? You know what it is? I understand totally, bro. I picked two. I totally understand about the love for Julio Cesar Chavez, and it's always going to be that's their guy. And but check this out, and it should. Why not? He's a fucking legacy all-time great. That shit shouldn't make you not be able to see what the next man does. That has nothing to do with it. So
No, it ain't that bullshit. Get the guy out of here too. I'll tell you what it is. It's like, what was the other day? You said something. You said you.
Whatever I said is probably right. Yeah, no, whatever I said is probably right.
You said. Yeah, oh, it is. It's 1,000% right. You said y'all motherfuckers gonna make me a fan of Ryan Garcia. Same shit. All y'all motherfuckers are giving this guy his place on the boxing Mount Rushmore before it's due time is making everyone else say, man, get fuck this dude. He ain't what you hyping him up to be.
Who's hyping him up?
The Canelo fan club.
All right, man. Let's talk basketball. God dang. Let's talk ice skating. You know ice skating? Let me go about ice skating. Fucking God, man.
All right, so let's get the prediction for tonight's fight. What you got? What you got for Canelo, Mike?
6. I think he's gonna go 6. I think he's definitely gonna stop him. I think he's gonna stop. I think he actually might stop him on his feet. I think speed is crazy. Like
what you say?
6 is a good one. 2 or 3 rounds. This is again. I always had, ever since Canelo went to 60. You know, I got a preference with it's just because the guy is great, just because the guy is fucking overachieving with some of these guys, it still doesn't negate the fact of boxing size and that we have divisions and shit for a reason. So sooner or later he's gonna walk into an ass whipping, bro. It's just what it's gonna be. And it's gonna be somebody who nobody gives a shot because he's gonna be 6 foot, fucking 168, 175 pounds that night. Do I think this guy is that guy? Nah, I don't think this guy has the ability to do that. But any fight, any class fight, this is the dangerous fight's gonna be the Billy Joe Saunders and those type of guys who can fight. That's really big guys. That Canelo's gonna be waiting.
Do you give Billy Joe an actual chance?
Hell, I do. I do.
Caleb playing an actual chance.
I think. Well,
on the Austin Trout side,
Caleb Plant. Here's my thing with Caleb. Here's my thing with Caleb Plant, man. I see he's a hell of an athlete. I see what people like in him. I want to see him up against it before I can make a decision on could he pose a problem to Canelo or whatever. But hell, he just won his title 2-3 fights ago, right? Yeah. And so
yeah. So and you got it's a long period of time. Ain't got to do nothing.
I don't think Caleb. Listen, man. Strategy wise, Caleb Plant shouldn't have took no Canelo fight. If you ask me, if he wants some longevity in this game, but that's on him to decide how good he is. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about these Caleb Plants, these Boo Andres and shit, listen, man, it's all eye test. It's all us seeing what they're good at and saying good. But you still got to fucking do it, man. You still got to get in there with a guy who's walked across the fire, been behind a fight, and found a way to pull it out. So do I think this? So back to Canelo, your whatever the fuck his name is. This guy is he's gonna pitch a bitch. He's gonna do the best he can. He's gonna try to change his life. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the boxing intelligence there enough. But when you put when you put a guy with some boxing intelligence and he's got the size advantage and shit, and he's in the prime, and all these things, that's when it's going to pose a threat to Canelo Alvarez. Truth be told, every fighter likes titles. We shit on the titles, but every fighter's trying to get a title. And people who's complaining about Canelo fighting nobody is insanity because he's been fighting motherfuckers for so long. But this is the number one contender. This is the number one contender. People wanted Tio to skip over Kambosos, but Kambosos is the fucking number one contender. Tio bet on himself, beat the top guy. It's his right to get paid now. It's his right to go get that fucking life-changing money against the number one contender. George Kambosos ain't no slouch, so it's a real fight. They telling Canelo this is number one contender. Okay, let's fight. Look, Canelo will be right back the next fight. This is another Rocky. What the fuck his name is? The Rocky
Fielder.
Rocky Fielder. So then he fought what, Kovalev? So now he fought this guy. So he'll fight a real guy next, probably Billy Joe. And when he beats up Billy Joe, that was nobody. And the motherfucker been a middleweight champion forever. But you're never gonna satisfy nobody. But Canelo needs to satisfy himself, because when it's all said and done, we're gonna look at the books. And you could close your eyes when you're reading, but that don't mean it don't say what it says. This guy don't pose no threat, but fighting these big guys, he's bound to run into a problem. And it's probably gonna be a guy we don't never suspect that's gonna give him, but they gonna hit him high on the head or something, and he ain't gonna never recuperate.
What's your final prediction? What round?
2 or 3 rounds. 3 rounds.
I think Canelo has a mindset of fighting. He wants to fight. He definitely. I 100% believe that he wants to leave that legacy. There's no doubt. He is legacy mindset. He wants to do everything he needs to do. I think he's going to finish this fight quickly, 4 rounds. I think he'll probably stop him in the 4th. And he's going to walk out the ring like he did last year, his last fight, and ask that very same. I think that might become one of his catchphrases. Who's next? Or what he said? That's what he said, right? Who's next? Who you got next? Who's next? I think that's going to be something for him. I'll tell you who I get excited about when I think about Canelo. I want to see a Benavidez Canelo fight. But I don't want to see it now. I want to see it in 2 years.
I would love that fight.
I want to see it in 2 years.
But that'd be such an awesome fight.
Right.
That'd be.
I want to see it in 2 years. I want to see Benavidez get a little more action, and then I think that's gonna be a huge event. Right. What do you think about that potential matchup?
That's honestly tough, because Caleb. Tennessee guy, so I ain't gonna bet against no Tennessee guy. But I am a fan of Benavidez. I like dude a lot. But I'm gonna just say it'd be a good fight. That's all I'm gonna say. It'd be a good fight.
Other than that, man. All right, you got anybody?
Yeah, it's nothing else. He's not gonna fight the 175 guy.
Nah, I don't think. What did he say? He said 160. Yeah, he said he stayed at 160, 168.
Yeah, that's what the danger would have been for him. Them 175 guys, the real guys 175, that'd been danger for him. For real. Size is just crazy.
Yeah, man. Those are heavyweights, just can move faster, right? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. You good, Derek? I gas you out with the Canelo argument.
The day you get to me, I'll tuck my dick between my legs and walk like a chicken. Get the fuck out of here. It's a reason you waited till I left to ask them dumb questions. You showed your hand, boy.
He knew the trigger.
He knew
the trigger.
I knew he had his ear.
He knew I was going to walk into that. He knew I was going to walk back in on that. Mike, let's do overrated, underrated. Spot on. You ready? I'm going to name a fighter. You tell me if he's overrated, underrated, or spot on.
Easy.
All right. Number 1, Regis Prograis.
Spot on.
Jamal Charlo, the big one. The middleweight.
The bigger one? Oh,
yeah.
Underrated.
Okay. What about you guys? Welterweight.
Spot on. Thanks, spot on.
Spot on. Here's a guy, man. Here's a guy that people are indifferent about. What about Usyk? Now that you done went heavyweight, man. What you thinking about Usyk, man?
At heavyweight or just as a fighter?
Just in general, just overrated, underrated, just as a fighter.
As a fighter, underrated. At heavyweight, overrated.
Let's see. Last one, Boo Boo Andre. It's a middleweight.
Man, I don't know how to answer that, man. 2 years ago, I was saying underrated. I think I'm gonna say overrated now. I'm gonna say overrated.
I think I'm with you, bro. I think I'm with you, man, because you can only sell that shit for so long, man. Goddamn, bro. Fight somebody so we can see.
Hey, you want to talk about somebody that digs people up? That's him. I'm like, who is this dude? You got to go dig through BoxRec, figure out who he fighting all the time. And that's at this point. I thought when he signed with his own, I said, okay, they finna make some moves, but it's like, man, like what? At least go fight Triple G scraps or something. Like, I just want to see you in with somebody I know that I can, base you off of. I like to throw the girl.
I like to throw a girl in there. You watch any of the women's boxing or no?
Yep.
Marlena Esparza, underrated, overrated?
Underrated.
I'm with
you.
I'm with you.
That's the fights. That's some of the fights. Like, all these undercards. They fights that stick under the undercards, man. For real. Like
I just seen
underrated.
I just seen where they added her to the Clarissa that all women's pay-per-view. She's on there now.
Fight TV. Fight
Shelly. Yeah, Fight TV.
Fight TV.
She's on there fighting Shelly. Is that her last name? Yeah, but she's on that card too now. So the girls is getting their shine on, man, and it's a class fighters.
Who was it that she fought on? It might have been the Canelo undercard. Was it the Kovalev?
Well, she lost.
She fought on.
Anisha.
She lost to Sanisa, and then she won. Then she won that next fight.
Right. Right. That's the fight I took away. I was like, oh wow, like
she had to win that fight. Yeah, she had to win that fight. Yeah, she had to go win that fight. Yeah, bro.
That's skills. I love Layla Ali and all them girls, man. Like, but them folks couldn't hang right now. Like for real, nobody says. Like these folks,
the box is too deep now. Yeah, these girls are too deep now. Women are big. Shout out to
they always talk about Ronda Rousey. Like, man, an armbar ain't working with the girls today. Like, the girls is here to knock you out now. Like, it ain't the same thing. And same women's boxing now. Like, the skills is high. Skills are high.
100%, man. 100%. And shout out Naomi Graham. She 165 pounds. She just won in Bulgaria gold medal this morning, man. Shout out to her too, man. She's on Team USA and it'll be going pro shortly, I'm sure, after this Olympics. And then the women's boxing gets even deeper, man. So
and Danielle as well, huh? Danielle got something coming up.
Danielle's fighting. Yeah. Is this for a title? This is for the title, right? For a heavyweight title.
Yep.
Yeah, the fourth fight, man. That's a podcast favorite. That's my own girl, man. I've been supporting her for a long time, man. But yeah, man, let's finish out, man. Top 3 pound for pound. What you got? Canelo
is number 1.
Not Canelo, man. He ain't never fought nobody. Go ahead, Canelo. Who
is Canelo? I gotta put Terrence Crawford. And man, that 3 is so interchangeable, bro. That 3 is so interchangeable. It's like, man, really it comes down to like who am I? Like
Chill. Nah,
argument easy though. But like for real, he beat the guy. That's the old school rules. You beat the guy, right? But it's like, I don't know, man. That 3 is interchangeable. I can stick anybody in there, but I think that you can't argue that it's Canelo and Terence Crawford. And then it's kind of
when we're talking
who had hot performance.
When we're talking a top pound for pound, does activity is activity a factor? Because you're right. Now that you stated,
I don't think
like
we can say that right now. I think we can say it right now because
when you talk about that number. No, I don't know. I think that's a great question. I like the way you put it. That number 3 is so interchangeable because you could throw anybody in there. That number 3 spot could go to Tyson Fury, it could go to Earl Spence, it can go to Timo, it can go to
Charlo.
Yeah, I mean it's so like, interchangeable. And it's like you said, it just depends who's fighting that weekend. Then the number 3 slot.
Who had the hot fight?
Right. So
yeah.
So when we talk pound for pound, I wondered, are we not? And it's no fault to anybody, right? Because you got COVID, and then maybe someone, it's just they ain't as active. So that's a different angle of looking at it. But yeah, that number 3 is very interesting.
It's a body of work. That body of work that Canelo and Terence Crawford had, you just can't argue. Well, I guess you can't argue with it, but for the most part, you can't argue with it. That 3 spot, man, it's like who just had a spectacular performance? Like it's like, man, like I don't know. Like I know Tank is somewhere in that top 10. I know Charlo somewhere in that top 10. Tyson Fury somewhere in that top 10. Like, who got the hottest knockout recently? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what's gonna happen, Mike? What's gonna happen? Mike, what's gonna happen when Fury and Joshua get in there?
Oh man, Tyson Fury from the box service around AJ, man. Finna box
yeah,
service
man,
around.
that dude was a fucking problem.
Like dead serious. I think it's gonna be. I think it's actually gonna be embarrassing. I really do. I think he's gonna.
I believe his corner's gonna save him, bro. Them English, man, they'll throw the towel in right quick if you get beat up, man.
Like for real.
It's gonna be embarrassing, yeah. And look, Joshua ain't a hoe. He's gonna go forward. He's gonna be trying. He's gonna be trying to fight, but the levels between the two is ridiculous.
I think Tyson Fury is not going. I ain't worried about AJ getting knocked out, even though he definitely probably can. With Tyson Fury, but Tyson Fury will take that man's will, and that's way worse. When you're sitting there, and you don't know what to do. That's worse.
Like
there's nothing like that.
Like what Slowpoke did, old Dubois. Yeah, man, he didn't have nowhere to go. Yeah. He didn't know what to do after that. Yeah, man.
Like man, when a guy gets like that, man, and they feel like they plan A and plan B isn't making plan A work. You know what I mean? Them guys, and I think that's gonna be AJ. AJ is gonna be stuck in the mud. Andrew Ruiz really beat himself. He really beat himself in the fight.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, Andrew Ruiz, man. Listen, man. I see. He released a picture yesterday on Instagram. Man, that boy has gotten into shape, man. Did you see that?
Hold on. Hold on. That's not Angus. That ain't the big girl taking a picture on Instagram. That ain't the big girl taking a picture like this on Instagram, bro. Hold on. That ain't this right here. That ain't this angle right here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I can look in shape. If I do it right, I can look in shape. Shit. That's funny, man. That's funny. Damn, I didn't even think about that. That's exactly
I didn't either, yeah.
That's the fucking angle to that picture, man.
What
Eddie said he's down 20 pounds, but he did. Andy Ruiz fucked himself, fell for the okie doke, the age-old thing of you beat a guy and you think, oh, I'm gonna just knock him out. That's fucking retarded, man. That's retarded, man.
That's the difference.
And then Joshua went home and dreamed about dude.
Oh, it's dead.
That's the difference in character between Ruiz and Theo. That because it was the same. It was same position. All right, now I've got the belts. What do I do? You got one that went off and fucked off his money with his friends and drinking and partying and eating, and then you got the other who Every time I see Theo's fucking page, he's in the goddamn gym doing crazy shit on the fucking bars and push-ups and working and doing this thing. And
with
so
the gloves on.
That's right. That's the difference in character between two champions. One went back, got his ass handed to him, and there's no doubt.
Something, Chris. Yeah, it has little to do. It has little to do with their ability, right? It's got to do with drive, man. You're right.
It's so crazy. Yeah. It's so crazy to watch those videos of Andy Ruiz training now. Like, bro, like he's like the last guy in the gym. He's in the gym full of champions, and he's like the who's that guy in the gym now? And it's like, man,
the bottom pole.
Crazy. This dude was just the heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah, that's crazy to me, man. So like, and congratulations to AJ for beating him in the rematch. But like, AJ ain't come with a war game plan or something. Andy Ruiz had opportunities to push that fight, and he just didn't. I mean, he wasn't in shape to do it. And it's just
he came to steal his title back, right? He came to steal it.
Yeah. I can't understand how you come into the fight like that. You just can't be a champion of the world. Like, that's such a crazy mindset. You know what I mean? Because he was an underdog before that. He was an underdog, kind of in a spot I'm in. Like, you got to be on your grind 24/7. When they call you, they call. You got to be ready.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
you
can't get it. Like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
His coach wasn't going for that shit. That kid just wasn't listening, bro. He just wasn't fucking training, man. Wasn't showing up. Just like he said when Andy and them finally fired him, he was like, okay, this is what happened. I'm telling this motherfucker where you at. And he's saying, I'll come next week. There ain't no next week, man. You got to go fight this bodybuilder. You got to fight this bodybuilder.
You get that 130.
In the Middle East, man. And he's eating shit and sleeping, Andy Ruiz. And you talking about tacos and drinking and shit and hanging out.
Jewelry.
That shit ain't going to end well.
Jewelry and cars.
And shit. And to tell you the truth, my whole squad, we rooting for Andy, right? When Andy shaking, he's the American and shit.
Yeah.
And the podcast was young, and I remember Fresh and Robert was like, no way, Coach, man, that dude ain't gonna just give this shit away like that. And I'm like, man, I hope not. And then when he got on the scale 300 pounds, I said, well, there's my answer.
Bro,
there's my answer right there.
We were catfish, mother. We were catfish. This cocksucker. We were catfished.
You remember that, Fresh? I was like, he lost that shit right there. Look, that scale ain't lying to you. Here's what I'm saying. A guy could put on, whether I suggest it or not, a guy could put on 7-8 pounds of muscle or weight if he needs to, depending on what he's doing. 25, 30 pounds, you're not working, bro. You're not working. You ain't doing shit. You really going in there and walking through your rounds on the bag.
Nothing.
Yeah, you was walking through your rounds on the bag. Your damn sure wasn't running. You probably was walking your
workout.
Yeah, man. And that's what it got him. And he knew too. You could see it in his face. 4-5 rounds into that fight. Tonight ain't the night. I need this guy to sit still for me. Bro, it ain't his job to sit still. It ain't his job to sit still for you. Right. What a letdown, man.
Crazy, man, because it's like, even in that fight, he was the B-side. I mean, he won the championship, but he was still the B-side. I mean, like, that I'm still the B-side mentality. Like, how you know what it was?
Like, you know what it was?
Man, that's embarrassing.
The disappointing part was he made all the motherfuckers who said it was a fluke, he made them feel like, see, I told you, when any boxing guy knows, there wasn't no fluke. He whooped that dude's ass. He's a better fighter. And then you go in here and then don't get in shape. And then you fucking prove these guys wrong. You prove these guys. So now you ended up being a fluke. So now the work really begins since you're going to fight. But, man, I really hated that, man, because
he hasn't fought since, has he?
I did too.
I don't think so. COVID hit right after, right? That following time or whatever. But yeah, man, that shit was disappointing, man.
And all the people that said it was a fluke, man. You supposed to embody that shit and take it personal. You know what I'm saying? Like, he
did the polar opposite, man. He did the polar opposite, man. But I'm still rooting for him. He made a mistake. He didn't lay down. He still was trying, but he just wasn't in shape. So I'm a root for him one more time. If he comes in there and he's fighting hard, I'm gonna get back with him and let's go. But you got to do it, man. The minute I see you kept jumping on the scale 20 pounds bigger and shit. Nah, man, you already ain't got the good genetics, but that doesn't matter. In shape for some people don't look right. I'm just worried about is if you in shape. So when you get on that 20 extra pounds, bro, you got to even work.
Was pissed.
Talk about weight. Let's talk about overweight, motherfuckers.
Ariola was pissed.
Let's talk about overweight. Adrian fucking Broner. We saw that fight last week. What the fuck is going on? Hey, so you text me the numbers in the group chat the other day, and they were low, right?
Yeah, man.
They were extremely low.
Man, that Valdez fight. They battled with that Valdez fight. I was the one idiot that watched it. They battled.
But you know what though, Mike?
That was bad. Progress.
But you know what though, Mike? And you probably could get some good info from your what's the lady's name, the promoter?
Miss Brandy.
Miss Brandy. But with Broner specifically, that's never mattered. He always brought butts to the seats and always brought eyes to the show,
right.
Even though he hasn't looked good. He hasn't looked good for 5, 6 years. I think that right there, those numbers, and what it was he got like, I think they said peaked out at 288,000 free TV. Well, cable, but you didn't pay for it.
And then
Valdez.
Then he showed his
Valdez
too.
And Valdez, they peaked at like 800,000 damn near, right? Where that was Broner views normally, even when he was losing. So what that showed me was the fans done had enough. You know what I'm saying? And so now he's really got to get in there with some guys.
They don't buy the hype no more.
So we have
gonna beat him up.
And that's a guy.
Problem. Here's the problem, right? Broner has a fucking a reputation already. This last fight, arguably controversial, which way it went, right? The views weren't there. That's the problem. Derek, what's the answer? Who can he match up against to bring some fire or electricity back to his?
You know the answer.
Let me give you one of mine. And then you tell me, Mike. I think when that boy for PBC, what was his name? Vacated that 140-pound belt. I think the writing's on the wall. When Regis's contract ran out with DeBella, and he went and did a hit list with PBC, he's willing to work with whoever, fight to fight. I think PBC put him on that tank car, and he blew that fucking undefeated boy out the water. So Barrios gives up his 140-pound title. They found somebody Broner could beat. Whether or not you believe he beat him, it's still he won. Yeah. I believe it's very imperative that Regis Prograis blows his next opponent out the fucking water. Same way, 2-3 rounds, beats him out. Because remember, when we're talking TV fights, we're not talking about boxing guys. We're talking about the fans. He beats up there, and guess what? The type of money Broner demands to show up, even when he ain't even gonna try, they'll have that kind of money for him at 140 pounds against Regis Prograis. And if the coffin was closed on this fight, 288 views, and Regis is gonna go ahead and put the hammer on the nail, bro, and get rid of him. Now, everybody I know that knows Broner say Broner's a great guy in real life, man. He'll help anybody do this and do that. I don't know him personally, but what he does for the business of boxing and what he's done with his talent, I say this all the time, Mike. I always trust what the fighter shows me. I believe it. I believe you wholeheartedly. I believe this is who you are, because once you done did it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, that's who you are, man. So what it would take for a guy of Broner's ability, right? Because we all agree he's got ability. I mean, you got to be blind not to know Broner's box. So, but what it's going to take for him to beat a top fighter, he's not willing to do. He'd rather stay safe and not get knocked out and put up just enough pressure that he finishes the fight, rather than like say Regis Prograis is gonna do what he did against Josh Taylor in that last round, come out and try to win. He's gonna try to win that fucking fight. But go ahead.
As your opinion this is a question that I was talking to somebody about the other day. What's Broner's best performance?
Ooh.
There was a Hispanic guy. He won, I think, his second title from. He wasn't a household name, but it was a real fight. I can't even remember. It's been so long ago. And that was the first time I said, huh?
DeMarco.
Yes.
Antonio DeMarco.
And I said, if Broner gets in there and whoops this guy, I'll go ahead and give him his props. And he did, right? He went in there and beat DeMarco, right? And I said, well, shit. I can't call him great value Floyd no more. All right, I'm gonna give him his props. But now, man, those styles just matched up to where you could win that fight without having to dig deep. Everybody. Yes. And now what shows me was
who I said.
Go ahead.
That Madonna fight. I think the Madonna fight is his best performance because he got embarrassed in the middle knockdown, but dude dug deep and almost stopped Madonna. But the thing about his best performance is a loss. You know what I'm saying?
This out. I'm gonna agree with you. Why? I'm gonna agree with you, Mike, because he had never faced no real. What'd you say, Fred?
Adversary.
Yeah. He faced no adversity, and then he didn't even think about it. He got hurt. He went down. He got his ass back up, grabbed him, hold down, and started fighting back. And I think he did hurt. Didn't he hurt? Didn't he wobble Maidana? He hurt Maidana a little bit, huh?
Yeah, he almost stopped Maidana. Yeah, he almost stopped him.
So, but then I think Maidana wobbled him again, or whatever the case may be. But here's the thing: there was no time to think. There was no time to think about it. It was who he was. Damn, this motherfucker knocked me on my ass. This don't happen. Let's get up and go. But see, you leave a fighter at home with his own thoughts, and nobody ain't coaching him up and telling him what he's going through. What you're going through, son, is normal. That's normal. Any man who has to face adversity and dig deep, this is that place. This is that place. You're supposed to be second guessing yourself, and you're supposed to say, I got to get to the fucking gym, man. I can't let that shit happen no more. Boom, 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 boom. You're not supposed to ignore it. You're not supposed to say, oh, it was a lucky punch. Oh, this and that. No. You're in that same place Joe Louis was when Schmeling knocked him out. Joe Louis felt what you was feeling right now.
Right.
Difference is he was Joe Louis. Are you gonna be Joe Louis? Or it doesn't mean that much to you. And that's what I'm saying. When a fighter shows you who he is, when a fighter shows you he's not Joe Louis, he's not fucking Joe Louis, bro. He's just not. It's just not in him. So
change overnight.
all that talking and selling the fights and shit. Once his own super fans don't quit believing it, oh man. What you gonna sell now?
And do you think that's what happened this last Saturday? They stopped.
Well, I think Mike Cook is the last of the Puerto Ricans. He was the last one gonna watch Broner instead of Valdez. He hung it in there with it. Hey, Mike hung in there with Broner to the end, bro. Hey, Mike came down there white. Mike came down there white, rolling up. Oh, and he sold you out, Mike. Mike, he sold you out, bro.
That night just to watch it, bro.
Oh man,
he sold you out, bro. But hey, that's what I said about Broner. He got back into that fight the second half of the fight, but it still was a close fight. But yeah, man, that's just putting up. Just
it was way closer what them scores said.
Yeah,
a lot closer. Well,
he put up just enough. He put up just enough resilience, enough to make the plan keep going. All right, he wins this one. Now we get another one.
Yeah. I want to see a Regis fight. I want to see a Regis Broner fight. I think that's what the fans need.
You and me
I think
both.
that'd be a great fight. The build up would be amazing.
Yeah, there's history there for sure. All right, Michael Cook, man, it has been a great show. We appreciate you coming on. Listen,
next fight date?
Yeah, everyone watching across the world, he's going to be fighting next on March 20th in Alabama. Miss Brandy's going to be putting on the show. Are you guys going to live stream it at all or anything, or is it
they do pay-per-views. They do pay-per-views actually. Live
okay, send us the link. We'll share it with on our page
for sure,
and we'll be sure to tune in. Where can people find you on social media?
Mike Cook Boxing on everything. Mike Cook Boxing.
Well, that's what's up, man.
It
was a great time.
I just want to tell y'all, man, appreciate y'all for having me on, man. I just caught on to y'all recently, but I've been watching all y'all stuff, man. Y'all hilarious, bro. Y'all are great. Y'all great boxers, for real. And I want to
appreciate it. Give you shout outs, man.
My manager DeAndre and Vanessa Brown. DeAndre and Vanessa Brown and my gym Chad Chilcutt's MMA. 5th degree black belt. Bad dude. This guy shot him out. And of course, Brandon 116, man. They great people.
Oh, that's great what's people. Up. Shout out to everyone in Memphis, man.
Awesome, dude.
Oh yeah.
Nah, man,
y'all, man. Y'all too much fun, bro. For real.
Hey, when you kick this next dude's ass, man, holler at me so we can do another one and talk shit.
Yes, sir. Hey, I'm about that. That's my favorite thing. That's America's pastime, talking shit.
Yeah.
There it is, brother. There it is. Just long as you're honest. As long as you're honest, you're brutally honest, you can talk that shit.
Any last words, D?
Oh, no, I enjoyed the hell out of this, man. It was good to meet you, Mike, bro. We'll be rooting for you, man. We're going to follow you, bro, and do and put up your dates and all that good shit. All right, Noe Lopez. Noe Lopez, man. Come on, Noe. Do the damn thing, boy.
Well, yeah, make sure y'all tune in tonight. All right, everyone across that's been watching us, please make sure that you continue to support, subscribe, and like our page on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We appreciate all the love that we received. We have set a goal for ourselves on YouTube to reach 1,000. We're almost there. It was supposed to be done by the end of the year, and then we moved it up to April. We're at the end of February. We might reach it by the end of March. So thank you for all the love and support. Keep doing that. All right, man. That's a wrap. We'll see y'all next week.
Holla at y'all, man.
Holla.